Welcome back to Going Bush Now, folks. A story about the farmers.
That's right, Hardy, or a partnership between farmers and forestry.
Yes.
You're probably wondering where all the trees are, given this is a forestry program.
There are none, this is a farm.
What we're talking about now is replacing these awful, noxious weeds...
Gauze, that's bad.
...with trees. Farmers all over Tasmania have to deal with the land they own being unusable because of infestations of gauze, a noxious weed which affects 23 million hectares Australia-wide and tens of thousands in Tasmania.
Once it takes hold, the land is good for pretty much nothing. But there is one way to take the land back.
What we're doing today, we're tidying up a few areas that were fairly non-productive, turning them into some productive land, and they're mulching in the background there, and we're going to put pine trees in.
A new joint venture between Forestry Tasmania and landowners mean farmers such as Philip Boyd are now not only able to rid their paddocks of gauze, but plant trees and generate new income.
Well, it's a really exciting project from Forestry Tasmania's point of view. It ticks all the boxes in terms of environmentally sustainable. We'll be planting trees on areas that were otherwise wasteland, invaded by noxious weeds. We'll be growing longer rotation plantations that will permanently capture carbon from the atmosphere and store it in solid wood products when the timber is processed, and it gives farmers an extra income on land that was otherwise costing them money.
In our case, we're turning the non-productive land into something very productive. We just couldn't grow anything here with the rocks and the gorse, and it was just useless wasteland. So I think down the track, I think it should take off quite well.
So knocking over the gauze and mulching it up is the first kind of step in this process. Then comes
Second
the
step.
Planting of the trees, and
Yes.
there are a couple of different species that typically get planted.
Yes, that's right, pine trees and eucalypts. It doesn't really matter. They've got to sort of suit the land, but the beauty about when you plant the trees over where the gauze was, it keeps the light out so the gauze doesn't come back.
Because gauze seed can last up to 100 years.
In my experience, the best gauze control is a combination of all of the controls. And you might be able to get away with a mechanical control, and then ultimately you'll follow up with some chemical control. But this is certainly environmentally friendly, and it gets the plants down, as you can see, the big plants, and it gets them down to a workable sort of height.
Also included in the program is the state government's Private Forests Tasmania. Its job to facilitate appropriate resources to farmers to make a new plantation possible.
There are so many benefits that accrue to landowners from having trees integrated into their properties. Shade and shelter for their crops and their livestock, increased off-farm revenue from other products that they can sell, general amenity that just improves the value of the farm by having trees integrated there. The look of the property looks so much better. And these days, with the opportunities for the possibility of sequestering carbon as carbon sinks, and also increasing the use of these for products such as bioenergy and so on, is a good opportunity for landowners out there.
Trees on Farms is a partnership between Forestry Tasmania and farmers, offering the chance to reclaim weed-infested land, secure new revenue streams and capture carbon. Plantation species include radiata pine, Eucalyptus niton and blue gum, which also provides habitat for the endangered swift parrot. These trees also provide shelter for livestock.